But one guy said long ago about this place, he said, the auditorium will be to the past a memorial, to the present a utility, and to the future a message. And the message that this place spoke, that he had in mind, that we can still hear today, is that prayer moves mountains. It all represented a mountain to move. The debts would have to be liquidated, the campus would have to be free, most of the churches and our people would have to be relieved of debt, the courage of the people would have to be inspired to undertake a great task, the will to do it would have to be determined, the way to do it, coordinated with everything else, would have to be done, and on and on and on. This was in 1934 when they started having these ideas about building this place. 1934, Depression years, very hard years, the college is in debt. 44 was when this building was dedicated, which next year will be 70 years. You do not need to go to Egypt to see a miracle in stone. You may see one on Pasadena College campus, the Nazarene Memorial Auditorium. So that's the story I want to share with you, because I really believe that we are, in a sense, building a house of prayer right on the foundation of this house that was built. Now, again, what I want you to see in some of this is just the difficulty of the circumstances, right? Just like Rod is saying, sometimes we have great faith, sometimes we can see it, and other times our circumstances are very, very difficult, very, very hard. Sometimes our individual personal circumstances are very hard. You might be in that place now. Maybe you're on the mountain, maybe you're in the valley right now. But the circumstances on which this place was, the groundbreaking ceremony happened, were difficult. I want you to see that. We're hard. It took great faith to even believe it could be done. And many were interested to see it done, but slow to help to do it. And the easiest and maybe best thing to do would be to let it drop. I like the transparency of the guy that tells this story. He says, once, when I felt rather down, I confided in one of my brothers that after all, it was a very difficult task. And this guy said, never. Don't you dare do that. God is in this move, and he will see it through. Stay with us. This is the ethos with which they approach this task. It was agreed that we would take everything to the Lord in prayer. The auditorium committee would pray. The executive committee would pray. A special prayer group in Pasadena who had on their hearts the success of the auditorium agreed to pray. To have special prayer for special needs of the work when presented. Many, many faithful individuals upon whose hearts also the Lord had laid the burden of this undertaking prayed. So actual building operations were begun in January 1941, plus a determination to work on a pay-as-you-go basis, to pray for everything needed, to trust God for it, and to toil hard and consistently to help realize the answer to the prayer. To build in our terms, $1.6 million auditorium for the cause of Christ. Humbly and for the praise of God, we state that the auditorium is a series of answers to prayer extending across several successive years in regal witness that Jesus will do it. If ye shall ask an auditorium in my name. But he who said, ask anything in my name, I will do it, knew just how to temper the unfortunate times and perplexing war conditions to the needs of this work. You see God working behind the scenes. Keep it going. Sometimes there was real tests of faith. It was a burden, but the Lord didn't ever let us down. It was only we, those who had the responsibility, that should not let the Lord down. Ask anything, I'll do it, said Jesus. So it was necessary to get the burden over on the Lord, where indeed he wished it to be. Casting all your care upon the Lord, for he cares for you. So an earnest prayer was made to God to help us place this care over on him where he wanted it to be. Is anything too hard for the Lord? He helped us. God working behind the scenes, God working in the minds of people to give. So they've got internal difficulty, internal resistance to this whole idea. And now though, even though you got everyone on board, people are starting to have faith, people are giving, now you got external things happening they had no control over. The people that built this, the large majority of the people that built this are no longer alive. But what they represent stands. The auditorium was not built by the wealthy. It was built by lovers of righteousness and holiness. The auditorium represents the great cause of evangelism and missions. These things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that openeth, and no man shutteth, and shutteth, and no man openeth. Behold, I set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it.